Data centers and their possible presence in rural communities continues to spark debate across Siouxland tonight.
This afternoon, one southeast South Dakota community took a chance to get ahead of the game. There are no plans in place to bring a data center to Clay County, South Dakota, but that didn't stop people from packing a room in the Vermillion Public Library today to learn more about what a data center could mean for folks in Clay County. The Vermillion Area Chamber and Development Company held a community conversation about data centers today. The event promised information about the impact of data centers, but it also allowed people to ask questions and share their concerns. Some asked about locations for a data center if one were built. Others asked about whether the cost of a data center would be passed on to residents. Chamber President Jim Peterson told the audience that if a data center were proposed in Clay County, voters would have a say.
That I'm aware of actively being worked at this time. And nothing can happen until you would have ordinances place, and then somebody has to look at all the whole power grids.
Peterson said 2 companies have reached out about building a data center in Clay County, but he couldn't provide specifics on the companies that reached out.